If you're thinking, dear God, why is she of so much brightness behind her? That was done for a reason. I wanted to have the feeling and ambiance with my lighting of what it must feel like for when a character dies, the first thing they wake up to see is Missy. Yes, going for that type of atmosphere. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I'm the Philadelphia Whovian, and this is a video we're going to be touching on a segment of my channel where I'm devoted to going through the entire era of the 12th Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi. My reason for this is because the 12th Doctor, one, for me, deserves more of a look-in because I've only seen most of his episodes once, but also because he was the first Doctor I saw be regenerated into. He was my very first regeneration scene where I saw Matt Smith regenerate into Peter Capaldi. So yes, that's another reason for why I'm doing this video as well, and look to see more Peter Capaldi stories coming along the way when it comes to videos. Disclaimer, before we begin, those people who are new to my channel, this is not my usual area of doing videos. I'm at work doing videos because it's just one of those weeks. What can you freaking do? So, warning you now, eventually this door is going to probably open possibly behind me, and a blinding light's going to come because of all the lighting coming in from one of my coworkers possibly coming in to work. Like I said, it's just that kind of week. So, those of you who have seen my channel before, you know every now and again, just due to the stress and the busyness of my life, I have to sometimes do a video on the job. So, without further ado, we got that out of the way, let's do a video on Into the Dalek. Into the Dalek, again, second story for the Peter Capaldi era, Series 8, and it's written by Stephen Moffat. The plot line to this is the Doctor, he is materializing. It starts off with two characters in a spaceship and is being attacked and shot down by the Daleks. One of the characters is already dying, but the other one is alive. It turns out that her name is Journey Blue, and her brother is the one who is dying, and right next to her, and he does die. Before she gets killed off, the Doctor materializes around her ship, and he saves her seconds before she dies. Being the soldier she is, she puts him at gunpoint and demands he take her back to back to base or back to the, ship that she comes from. And of course, the gentle persuasion of using words, he convinces her to ask nicely. Asking nicely is always a good thing. He takes her back there, and her uncle immediately orders to have him killed because he knows their hideout, where he knows where they are stationed. Therefore, the information could be leaked out of him by a Dalek who possibly captures him. So, he goes from saving someone to her uncle pretty much ordering his death. The only reason he's spared is because they find out he's a doctor, and a doctor is precisely what they need. Why? Because they stumbled on a Dalek, and they have it confined in the room, but this Dalek is different than other Daleks. This Dalek is a good Dalek. It's a Dalek that firmly believes that Daleks actually are evil because they're constantly trying to wipe out creation, or they want to kill anything that is not theirs or hold it in servitude. But then this Dalek saw a moment of beauty where it saw a star. Sorry, I'm blanking out right now. A star, either the star faded and was burst apart, or the star was created. I wouldn't say it was created, who knows. And saw this moment of beauty. But this moment showed the Dalek that the Dalek ambition to destroy everything makes no sense, because life always finds a way. Creation always finds a way. And so the Doctor goes and gets Clara. Now here's what Clara's been doing. She's back at her school teaching, but there's another person at the same school. His name is Danny Pink, and he was a soldier turned teacher, and there is a flirtation, if that you can call it flirtation. Either way, it leads to them going on a date at the end of the episode. Yes. Where there is a slight chemistry between Danny Pink and Clara Oswald. So yes, on Earth, we have Clara being a teacher, and she is meeting and getting well acquainted with a ex-soldier, now teacher, named Danny Pink, and the 12th Doctor is in space, where he is helping and assisting a soldier named Journey Blue. See the parallels? And then Clara agrees to go off with the Doctor after he shows up with some coffee, when he was 3 weeks late from seeing her before. Oh, Doctor! Always late, aren't you, Doctor? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. They go on the adventure and they assist Journey Blue with a few other soldiers by being literally made into minuscule creatures. There's a machine on the ship that literally minimizes the human or minimizes a subject to be the size almost of an ant so that a person could go inside another person and treat a problem. Basically, it's a similar machine that bears a striking resemblance to the machine in the Fourth Doctor story, The Invisible Enemy. Or from those of us who grew up in the 90s, from the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Either way, there we go. And so the 12th Doctor, Clara, and the small, unit soldiers go into the Dalek through the eye stalk. And oh my god, that was a beautiful moment, seeing them go into the Dalek through the blue of the stalk. And it's like, wow, that was incredibly well shot and very well directed. Very much so. Yes. So, when it comes to that, they're inside the Dalek. The Dalek is a good Dalek, but unfortunately, the Dalek, when it gets wounded, of course, its antibodies look after it and tend to it. So, very soon into it, we see the antibodies crowd around one of the soldiers. The Doctor lies to the soldier, says he's going to give him something to help. No, what he gave that soldier was just something that would make the antibodies kill him even quicker. And the 12th Doctor's excuse was he was going to die anyway. If you were not certain that there's going to be a darker incarnation of the Doctor, that moment showed, yes, this is how certain this incarnation is darker than other incarnations. So they keep going through Dalek. They find the fault in the Dalek. There's a radiation leakage. The Doctor fixes it and repairs it, but here's the problem. It was the radiation leakage that was causing the Dalek to be a good Dalek. So now it's going on a murder rampage. It's back to its original format of all humans or anything that is not Dalek must die or be made into servants or slaves, if you will. And the Dalek begins to go on a rampage, and also it signals signals other Daleks where the ship is, so the Daleks come and invade this ship. In the meantime, the Doctor is, I guess, slightly satisfied, or he feels like yes, see, I knew it, in knowing that there is no such thing as a good Dalek. Clara slaps him because to get him to realize, okay, have you learned nothing from this experience? And the fact is that anything can possibly be good. I guess that's what she's going for. And to prove him to not be such a cynical bastard. That's the only best way I can put that. And the Doctor does eventually come around to her way of thinking, and he's convinced the best thing to do is to help the Dalek have another good memory and fuse himself with the Dalek's memory to show the Dalek his own history, so the Dalek will cling to that moment of beauty. While he's doing that, Clara and Journey Blue travel to, I guess, the Dalek's nervous system or memory system, and that's when Clara pushes suppressed memories of beauty or goodness into the forefront of the Dalek's mind. So, then it ends with, eventually we see Missy again when one of the soldiers or two of the soldiers got killed, and we see her saying, "Welcome to heaven." Again, hence the brightness behind me, going for ambiance. Yes! Sorry, I'm back. Alright, and at the end of it all, the Doctor, yes, he did get the Dalek to successfully not only come to their side, but kill all the other Daleks that were invading the base. And Dalek chose to leave and go back to the mothership of other Daleks, taking its animosity for Daleks with it, and therefore carrying out the Doctor's will. What do I mean by that? When the Doctor linked himself to the Daleks' mindset and connected them together, showing its memories, the Dalek did see beauty, but it also saw the hatred the Doctor had for the Daleks. So now this Dalek is going to go off, and with its borrowed or its exchange hatred, that 12's hatred and contempt for the Daleks, it now has inside of it. It's going to go off, and it's going to be merciless on the Daleks around it, and therefore showing the parallel of the Doctor and the Dalek. In their hatred for each other, are they in fact quite similar? Therefore, is the 12th Doctor or the Doctor himself like a Dalek? Then it ends with Journey Blue asking the Doctor to go with him, to travel with him, and he says, "If only you weren't a soldier." And he's not going to have her travel with him. Then Clara goes back to London, back to school, and she meets up with Danny Pink again. They agree to go on their date, and he said, I'm surprised, that you're okay with me, the fact that I was a soldier, you weren't upset that I was once a soldier. And she said, no, I'm fine with it. Thus showing the difference between Clara and the 12th Doctor, that Clara is open to the concept of, no, she's not going to judge someone for being a soldier, but the 12th Doctor does have that contempt and animosity for soldiers, or maybe for anything that possibly reminds him of himself. Either way, I don't entirely know fully myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna ask you guys, with that moment of Danny Pink at the end when Clara accepts him being a soldier or a one-time soldier, and the 12th Doctor saying no, he's not going to travel with Journey Blue because if only she was not a soldier, but she is a soldier, so he's not going to travel with her. Is there a comparison there that I'm missing, or what do you guys think about it? Because it seemed like that was the concept of showing the difference between Clara and the 12th Doctor, is one was tolerant of a soldier, the other one was intolerant. Perhaps maybe it's because it reminds him of himself, and therefore would not make him, this soldier could not make him better than what he was. That's enough of the plot for that. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, and then I'm listening to myself, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. These guys know the plot of Into the Dalek. Why did I give so much discussion on it? Oh well, what can you do? You gotta talk about an episode when you actually do watch it to show you, hey, you watched it. So my overall thoughts about Into the Dalek. Okay, with this one, I couldn't help but reflect on the second story of the 11th Doctor, The Beast Below. And how these both were, in essentials, stories about the Doctor and companion and others going into the belly of the Beast. With The Beast Below, eventually 11 and Amy Pond went into the belly of the Star Whale. And with this, we have the 12th Doctor and Clara and a few others going to the belly of the Dalek, or the brain of the Dalek. Either way, you're going into the Beast. And with this story, first of all, it is directed incredibly well. This is a beautiful looking episode. Fan-freaking-tastic. Number one. Number two, the acting is absolutely wonderful, and there are a lot of characters here who very soon into seeing them, you see what type of characters they are. They do feel real, they do feel fleshed out. A character I absolutely love was Gretchen. Remember, she was the soldier who gave her life and let the antibodies come after her when they were inside the Dalek, so the Doctor and companions could go off and save the day. And she said to the Doctor, do something incredible, or do something big or something, and name it after me. That was beautiful. That character only had 7 lines, but that shows that quality will always be more important than quantity. You can have all the lines in the world, but if you're not given the right lines, it's not cool. You could be given 6 lines and be freaking incredible. And that's what the character of Gretchen really was. So with the Doctor, okay, with his Doctor, I see exactly what they're going for, the 12th Doctor, with the concept of him letting the antibodies kill the soldier because he was, according to the 12th Doctor, dead anyway, and to also help them keep going about their journey. That shows an absolute ruthlessness, complete coldness, but at the end of the day, it's also with the 12th Doctor, in this particular situation, about solving the problem and doing what I call the Spock mentality, which is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So I'm still indecisive about what I feel towards that particular moment. Whether it makes me, say, hey, this is his Doctor, this is who he is, nice, cool, and distinct, awesome, or whoa, that was dick. That was absolute dick. But what I do like about the 12th Doctor in this situation, it shows how he's a Doctor who kills, but he's not afraid to admit it and does not pretend like he does not kill. My problem with other Doctors in the past was that they would kill or commit mass genocide and then act like they never did it. I'm not in the mood for such hypocrisy. Not in the mood for it. And with, at the end of it, the only thing I wasn't really crazy about, besides the fact that I'm still don't know how I feel about the Doctor allowing that one soldier to die because he was already dead, is the thing I didn't like was, again, he says, if only you weren't a soldier, and he leaves Journey Blue. I'm just never been too crazy about the Doctor being against soldiers. I'm just not. So I know why he did not travel Journey Blue, maybe, or I have a theory why, which is simply that she could not make him a better person because she is too militant in her perspective. But again, I've never been against soldiers, or therefore when Doctor Who every now and again has an animosity towards soldiers, I'm just not going to be crazy about it. So when the Doctor said at Journey Blue, if only you weren't a soldier, I'm still not sure how I feel about that. I see why he said it, but I've just never been crazy about, again, the Doctor being, anti-soldier. But again, I see where he's coming from, because by her being a soldier, maybe she can never help him make the moral decisions because she has too much of a militant mind. And again, going back to the contrast between Clara and him, Clara's fine with Danny Pink being a one-time soldier, but he was not okay with Journey Blue once being a soldier. Idea of showing how the 12th Doctor and Clara are different, but maybe Clara is there to soften him, and therefore over time help him see the gray in situations as opposed to just the black and the white. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Guys, what are your thoughts on that? Alright, so still a little up in the air about what I feel towards the 12th Doctor in this one, but this is a story, Into the Dalek, well directed. Parts of it are very well written. A lot of it is very well written. Overall, Moffat did a good job. But this is one of those stories where, even though I see the good in it, definitely, I can see why somebody would not like this episode. Does that make any sense? Where I see the good in it, but I'm also aware that I can see why someone would not like it. Because there's something about this story, while it's awesome, I don't often have the desire to go back and revisit it. Like, after I watch some stories, I'm like, oh, I want to go back and re-see that. But with this story, I'm not entirely sure that's how I feel. I'm not sure I'm going to be in a rush to go back and re-watch it again. And another thing I had a problem with, this is something I'm not usually having a problem with, was Clara. When the Doctor sends her off to think of a cool idea and help her find, or she goes off and finds the suppressed memories with Journey Blue, and she tries to push them forward, and she's crawling through all these wires to help push these suppressed memories forward, I will be honest with you, that part did not feel organic to me. I know Clara is very smart, very clever. In the past, I always justified her ability to think of things really quickly, because in Series 7, I saw her be spliced with a computer, and I saw how she could be very machine-like, of course, after that situation, and why she could learn to do things quickly or figure things out quickly, because she was once spliced with a computer. But this part does not justify this. There's not enough. When she does think of how to push the suppressed memories forward and introduces how to do it, about which lights to use or not to use, it just feels like, let's quicken the pace of the plot here, so let's have Clara quickly figure this out without any organic way of helping her arrive at thinking which ones are the suppressed memories and how I can truly fix this by crawling around through the wiring. She just knows how to do it really a little too quickly, to the point where it feels plot devicey. And you guys know me. I have defended Clara before, but even something about that moment just feels very plot devicey to me. I would have much preferred if we saw more of where Clara was in a situation where something helped her understand, wait, what are the suppressed memories to the Dalek? Or if we see a flashback of when she was a Dalek in Asylum of the Daleks, and she remembers from her own echo how the Dalek brain worked, and she used that to help get rid of the suppressed, push forward the suppressed memories. But again, that could just be me reading into it way too much. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, overall with Into the Dalek, I enjoyed it overall. I'm just not too crazy about it, but I still see a lot of the good in it. But again, with those people who don't like it, I definitely get why you don't like it. I do. So, that's my feelings of Into the Dalek. So guys, what do you feel about Into the Dalek? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Either way, comment below and let me know. And I'll see you guys again very soon with a subject matter completely different. Bye, guys.